Paulina Cachero has been following this story, and she joins us now. So why is Grand Rapids kind of bucking this trend, the national trend of first-time home ownership being out of reach for so many young people?
Yeah, I think what's really unique about Kent County, Michigan is that there's a relatively favorable ratio between home prices and income. So nearly half of its homeowners in 2025 were 35 years or younger. And that's pretty amazing if you consider that the average first-time home buyer today is 40 years old across the U.S. And that's the oldest in data going back to 1981. So it helps that Grand Rapids, has a really diversified economy. Its population has been growing, and there's a lot of opportunities for young workers who are earning enough to buy a home. While across the U.S., I would say, workers under 35, the price of a home is 3.6 times their income, but in Grand Rapids, it's much lower than that.
Okay, it's much lower than that, but you wonder how it's going to stay that way because affordability is already eroding. You look at the prices at Grand Rapids, and it's up a third in 5 years. So could you make the argument that Grand Rapids is just a few years behind everyone else, every other city?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of pressure on the market. We've seen prices go up about 34% in 5 years, as you mentioned. And inventory is still roughly 30% below pre-pandemic levels. And this is an issue we're dealing with across the U.S., housing supply shortage. And actually, what we're seeing in Grand Rapids is they're building homes at a slower pace, at 5.3% compared to 7% nationally.
What are people doing in Grand Rapids? I mean, I think of 1963, Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops were pretty much like Kellogg's and all that in Grand Rapids and Battle Creek and all that. What are they doing in Grand Rapids in this boom?
We've seen that the wages have, kept up. It's like 13% higher than the rest of the state. So I think that, being able to keep home prices relatively low while incomes are growing and there's a relatively young population has helped people be able to afford buying homes. It's not just about having cheap homes, it's having the economic opportunities to afford them as well.